I want you to picture two driveways on a Saturday morning. Same upper middle class neighborhood, same sized houses. Same neighborhood, same sized houses. But what happens inside each one tells a completely different story. The first driveway belongs to someone making $150,000 a year. Sitting in it is a $45,000 ski boat on a custom trailer. Next to it is a $65,000 heavy-duty truck purchased specifically to tow that boat. Walk inside their garage, and you'll find it packed to the ceiling with high-end camping gear, a riding lawnmower for a quarter-acre lot, expensive power tools, and off-road equipment. A riding lawnmower for a quarter-acre lot, expensive power tools, all of it jammed inside a garage that was supposed to hold cars. The cars have to park outside because the garage has become a storage unit. This person looks incredibly successful to their neighbors. But behind closed doors, they are stressed. The boat needs winterizing. The truck payment is $900 a month. The insurance premiums are astronomical. And worst of all, half the gear in that garage hasn't been touched in over 2 years. They own everything, but their possessions are slowly consuming their income, their mental bandwidth, and their weekends. They own everything, and it is quietly destroying them. The second driveway belongs to someone making the exact same $150,000 income. It's completely empty. Their sensible paid-off cars fit perfectly inside their clean garage. On the 3 weekends of summer they want to go to the lake, they rent a $600 boat for the day. They hand the keys back at 5 p.m. and go home to relax. They don't have a massive truck payment. They don't pay storage fees. They don't spend their Sunday afternoons doing maintenance or stressing about depreciation. This person looks perfectly average to their neighbors, but they are building wealth at a terrifying speed. The difference between these two people isn't income. The difference is understanding a simple truth that the middle class completely ignores. Ownership is often a financial trap disguised as an achievement. The American dream sold us a very specific script. Buy the house, buy the car, buy the boat, buy the gear. If you can afford the monthly payment, you should own it. But the math on ownership has fundamentally changed. We live in an economy where you can rent almost any lifestyle you want for a fraction of the cost of owning it. Yet people continue to lock up massive amounts of capital into depreciating physical objects that they barely use. When you buy something expensive, you're not just paying the purchase price. You are taking on what I call the multiplier effect. The purchase price is just the entry fee. After that comes the ecosystem of costs. Storage, maintenance, insurance, depreciation, all looping endlessly after the initial purchase. And the mental energy required to worry about it. You end up paying implicit rent to store objects in your house that you use twice a year. You literally become a museum curator for your own abandoned hobbies. Today, I'm going to walk you through 8 expensive things you should absolutely always rent and never ever buy. If you currently own any of these, you are likely losing thousands of dollars a year in hidden costs. If you are thinking about buying them, this breakdown will save you from making a massive financial mistake. These aren't just opinions. This is the brutal math that separates people who look rich from people who actually are rich. Let's start with the ultimate wealth destroyer. Number 1, boats and personal watercraft. There is an old joke that the 2 happiest days in a boat owner's life are the day they buy the boat and the day they sell it. It's funny because it's mathematically true. Let's run the numbers on a modest $40,000 boat. The purchase price is irrelevant compared to the carrying costs. The industry rule of thumb is that annual maintenance, storage, and insurance will cost you roughly 10% of the boat's value every single year. So your $40,000 boat costs $4,000 a year just to sit there. That meter keeps ticking whether you use it or not. But wait, we aren't done. You need a vehicle capable of towing it, which often means upgrading to a truck. That truck costs $20,000 more than the sedan you actually need. You need a hitch, trailer maintenance, and safety equipment. And then there is the depreciation. Boats lose value almost as fast as cars. Your boat and your truck, both tumbling down the depreciation curve simultaneously. Now look at the actual usage. The average boat owner takes their boat out roughly 15 times a year. If you are paying $4,000 in carrying costs, plus $4,000 in depreciation, that boat is costing you $8,000 a year. Divided by 15 uses, you are paying over $530 every single time you put it in the water. And that's before gas. Alternatively, you can rent a beautiful, fully maintained boat at almost any lake in the country for $400 to $600 a day. You show up, you enjoy the water, and you leave. No winterizing, no towing, no storage fees. No winterizing, no towing, no storage fees, all of it gone. Renting feels expensive in the moment, which is why people justify buying. But when you do the actual math, buying a boat is financial self-sabotage unless you live on the water and use it every single week. Number 2, recreational vehicles and motorhomes. The romantic idea of the open road is an incredibly expensive illusion. People buy a $100,000 RV because they want the freedom to travel anywhere. But an RV is essentially a depreciating house built on top of a depreciating truck. It is the worst of both financial worlds. The depreciation curve on an RV is staggering. A new motorhome loses about 20% of its value the second you drive it off the lot. The moment it leaves the dealership, a chunk of cash disappears. After 5 years, it has lost roughly 40% to 50% of its original value. That $100,000 investment is now worth $55,000. You just incinerated $45,000 in 5 years. $45,000, gone. Then there are the hidden costs. RVs require specialized storage because most neighborhoods won't let you park them on the street. Storage fees easily run $150 to $300 a month. That's up to $3,600 a year. Maintenance is notoriously expensive because you are maintaining both a vehicle engine and a household plumbing and electrical system simultaneously. The average RV is used for about 20 to 30 days a year. The rest of the time it sits in a lot, decaying in the sun. If you want to experience the RV lifestyle, rent one. You can rent a luxury motorhome on platforms like Outdoorsy for $200 to $300 a night. A shiny, rented luxury RV on the open road. All the freedom, none of the liability. A 2-week cross-country trip will cost you $4,000 in rental fees. That sounds like a lot until you realize the guy who bought the RV lost $9,000 in depreciation and paid $3,000 in storage fees that same year just to take the exact same 2-week trip. Rent the RV, buy the freedom. Number 3, vacation homes and timeshares. The concept of a vacation home is deeply ingrained in our culture as a status symbol. If you have a cabin in the mountains or a condo on the beach, you have officially made it. But from a purely financial perspective, a second home is an anchor. A $400,000 vacation home requires a massive down payment, tying up capital that could be compounding in the stock market. But the real danger is the carrying costs. Property taxes, homeowners association fees, specialized insurance for unoccupied dwellings, and continuous maintenance. A roof needs replacing whether you live there full-time or 2 weeks a year. A broken pipe in an empty house will cause catastrophic damage before anyone notices. People justify this by saying, it's an investment, the property value will go up. And sometimes it does. But any appreciation is often completely wiped out by the carrying costs over a decade. Because you spend $25,000 a year maintaining this property, you feel financially obligated to take every single vacation there. You stop exploring the world. You go to the same cabin year after year. You go to your vacation home to perform maintenance on your vacation. Timeshares are the even more toxic cousin of the vacation home. They are practically impossible to sell, the maintenance fees increase every year, and they are mathematically structured to extract maximum wealth from the buyer. In 2026, Airbnb, VRBO, and luxury hotel rentals make owning a second home completely obsolete for anyone who values optionality. You can rent a different multi-million-dollar property in a different country every year for a fraction of the cost of maintaining a $400,000 cabin. You get all the luxury and none of the liability. Number 4, specialized power tools and heavy equipment. This is a trap that catches a lot of well-meaning, DIY-oriented people. You decide to renovate your bathroom, landscape your backyard, or build a deck. You go to the hardware store and realize you need a tile saw. The brand new tile saw costs $400. You buy it, use it for exactly 3 days, and then it sits on a shelf in your garage for the next 10 years. This is a profound waste of capital and space. Space costs money. Every square foot of your garage has an implicit rental value. Storing a bulky piece of machinery you use once a decade is financial inefficiency at its finest. Almost every major hardware chain and local equipment company rents specialized tools. You can rent a commercial-grade tile saw for $45 a day. You can rent a heavy-duty rototiller for $70 for the weekend. When you rent, you get access to contractor-grade equipment that is far superior to the consumer-grade version you were going to buy. You do the job, you clean it off, and you hand it back. You keep your $300 and, more importantly, you keep your garage space. Only buy tools that you realistically use more than 3 times a year. Everything else is a rental. Number 5, designer formal wear and luxury fashion. The pressure to look successful at galas, weddings, and high-end events drives people to make absurd financial decisions. A high-quality tuxedo or a designer evening gown can easily cost $1,500 to $3,000. Here is the reality of formal wear. It is highly memorable. If you wear a stunning $2,000 gown to a major event, you cannot wear it to the next 3 major events with the same friend group without people noticing. So it sits in a garment bag in the back of your closet, taking up physical and psychological space, while the style slowly becomes outdated. For men, a tuxedo is worn perhaps once every 2 years. Bodies change. The tuxedo you bought at 30 rarely fits perfectly at 40. The sharing economy has solved this completely. Services like Rent the Runway allow you to wear a $3,000 designer outfit for $150. You get the exact same social signaling, the exact same photographs, and the exact same confidence, but you keep $2,850 in your investment account. The exact same photographs, the exact same night. $2,850 stays in your investment account. You also get the novelty of wearing something brand new and currently in style every single time. Buying clothes you will only wear once is not building a wardrobe. It is burning cash for a single photograph. Number 6, high-end production gear and camera equipment. Hobbies are wonderful. They enrich our lives. But hobbies are also where rational adults suddenly lose their ability to do basic math. Someone decides they want to get into photography or start a YouTube channel. Instead of using their smartphone, which has a better camera than professional Hollywood setups from 15 years ago, they immediately buy $5,500 worth of gear, a $3,000 mirrorless camera, $2,000 worth of lenses, a $500 drone. The enthusiasm is genuine, but the commitment is untested. 6 months later, the interest fades. The drone has been flown twice. The camera sits in a padded bag in the closet. Technology moves so fast that within 3 years, that $5,500 worth of gear is obsolete and worth maybe $1,500 on the used market. If you want to try a new expensive hobby, rent the equipment first. Websites like ShareGrid or Lens Rentals allow you to rent top-tier professional gear for pennies on the dollar. If, after renting it 5 times, you are deeply committed in using it every week, then you have the data to justify a purchase. Sell the anchor, keep the cash, rent the lifestyle. That is how you win the game.